Origin game for the Animals, Mel?
Yeah, we had to tough that one out, Steve. Due respect to the opposition, they come ready to play and they're well prepared, and obviously their mentality was to graft out the game and take advantage of the opportunities that arose. And I think our preparation led to a similar type of mentality. So it was a game that was sort of to and fro, not much stoppages certainly in the first half, and the guys had to keep on hanging in there, and they showed tremendous character. At the back end of the game, obviously we're down with about 10 to go, just over 10 minutes to go, and again that belief in each other and their abilities come to the fore again towards the back end of the game.
What's the talk after they scored 2 tries in the first session?
There was plenty of time left, and I think after I guess JT missed that penalty goal, we probably lost our intensity for 10-15 minutes. They put on a couple of quick tries, and but we regrouped well.
Mel, we worry that you're only 10 up with all the ball that you had?
Never worried. You're not worried, obviously. Defensively, the Blues were, they're outstanding. I mean, we could have had a few more tries on them, but their last-ditch defence, their scrambling defence was excellent. So, but our control, I thought, was excellent through the game. We end up with something over 80% completions. Our kicking game was fantastic, and our chase game was great. So, we prepared how we thought the game would go, and the guys did a fantastic job of sticking to that game plan and working away to get the result we aim for.
Lockyer, what's made of the belief this side has tonight? Was that Mel mentioned it then? Is that what got you home tonight? That belief that no matter what happens, you can win a footy game.
Yeah, I think when they hit the lead, as I said, there was still 10 minutes to go, and no one was putting the white flag up. We just said, we just got to pick our energy up, and there's still plenty of time to score points. And I think we all believed what we were saying.
Mel, did they throw anything at you that maybe surprised you? Was there anything that came at you that you weren't expecting?
The way they played was, again, the way we prepared, and we knew they put a fair bit of pressure on our right edge, and I think they did a pretty good job on that. Something we can work on for game 2. They try to control the tempo of the game, trying to get to their kicks. With the way they played, they obviously came to grind out a win. When like I said, we knew that was going to happen. So they're working them. They would have got a lot of confidence out of the way they played tonight, I would feel.
How's Willie Thomas?
Well, I mean, Willie's, how courageous was that? I mean, partially subluxed his shoulder, and I think with the trainers come off, he's no good, he's off, he can't play on, but he's toughed it out, and I think they should go down the annals of one of the bravest performances from a Queensland player ever, because we needed him, he hung in there tough, and some of the defence he came up with his shoulder, certainly in the second half, was outstanding.
You were going to sub him, were you? I saw Cooper get up and he had the number in his hand.
Well, I mean, the word came back that he was no good, and you had to bring him off. So, but like I said, Willie hung tough, and he didn't want to come off. He didn't want to let his teammates down, and in the end, he made the right decision himself, and I said he didn't let the team down at all with all his efforts.
Did he shoo the trainer away, Mel, or how did that sort of work?
Well, he just didn't want to come off. Simple as that, and he wanted to keep going, so he's kept on, seeing how he's going, seeing it's talking his way through it all, and he's obviously, felt better and better as the game went on. Hopefully he hasn't done too much damage.
Did you know he was in trouble, Lockyer? I mean, did you realise how much trouble he was in?
Yeah, I could see from the other side of the field that he had hurt his shoulder. We didn't know how bad until about half time, and he wasn't in a good way, so it was pretty. For him to go back out in the second half, particularly, we had Cooper there who could have played in the centres, but he wanted to stay there. So, it's just one of those things that just lifts the rest of the team.
their effort to come back on after the half-time break too, because I imagine that would sort of, his shoulder and stuff would seize up over when he stopped.
Well, we had it strapped at half time, and we asked him how he was. He said he was sweet, ready to go back on. So we allowed him to do that, and can't speak highly enough of his efforts tonight.
Will he be okay for game 2 now if you need him?
I've got no idea, So I think the medical staff are quite sure of themselves. So at this stage, we'll probably go back to the Cowboys tomorrow, and they'll do a scan on his shoulder and see how serious it is.
Now, what can you say about Cameron Smith's game?
Sorry?
Cameron Smith's game tonight.
He just gets better and better, doesn't he? I mean, the whole effort from the team was great. Everyone made a special effort when it was needed. Someone made a difference when it was needed. Cameron in the middle of the park was outstanding. He knew that leading up the game, he was going to be put under pressure. He was going to be made to make a lot of tackles. He come up with I don't know how many tackles he made, but he would have come up with a fair few. And his ability to get out of dummy half and set play up, and his kicking game. So he's a great player. We're lucky to have him in the Queensland side.
Darius and Gaz was an interesting exchange a couple of times.
Yeah, well, they come up with that ploy, defensively, and it worked.
Lockyer, the last try, can you just take us through how that came? Obviously, the leader, 3 tackles before, outstanding to go 60 metres, and then that was a nice tackle.
Yeah, I think that sort of got the momentum back. Just those first few tackles in that set, we got the ball on the full, good kick return by the boys, and then they were a bit tired in the middle there, and Billy and I sort of just picked the hole inside Bo Scott, and Billy's pretty quick there, and but he's done that a fair few times over his career.
Exactly, it just seems to be the play that everyone no matter what they can't do anything to stop it in a sense because they're so tight.
Yeah, he was sort of inside a fair bit tonight, but didn't quite get through until the 70th minute, which was when it counted.
Particularly spinal going to Lockyer? Was there anything that led to that boiling over at the end? Was it spinal going?
I know there was a bit of niggle there. I mean, there was talk about the kickers being targeted, and there was a few, but I don't think there was any dirty tactics out there. I thought the game was played in the right spirit. The rules at Origin are always a little bit different. We were fully prepared for that.
Lockyer, are you guys clear on what the rule is with tackling kickers now? Because it seems to be vastly different to what it was 12 months ago.
I think we were told through the week the rules for Origin were different to what we play at NRL. Right? Is that?
The feedback to us is that if you obviously you can take your kicker out if you get close. So I mean, in the process of kicking, so it's obviously got to be legitimate tackle. So you can shoulder charge or tackle the player in the motion of him kicking. So and I think it panned out that way too, didn't it? Yeah.
That is different to what you play in NRL, isn't it? I think
yeah, but we were told through the week that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
So as long as you weren't late, you could get shoulder charge when you're kicking there.
Yeah.
Who told you? Who gave you that feedback?
It comes through the referees. It comes through Bill Harrigan.
Do you think it's particularly unfair, Darren, to have the rules sort of changed, not in your favour, obviously?
As long as it's not, I think we had an issue with blokes attacking kickers' knees. As long as it's not late, I don't have a drama with it.
Now, do you think just the last 15 minutes of the Ricky Stewart, that's what he'd be saying, just the last 15 going to Sydney, just to finish on that? They are going to take a lot out of it, aren't they?
Yeah, we'll take a lot out of it as well. We toughed that out. So I mean, it took a lot out of our guys. They come off the field and they were mentally and physically exhausted. So it's like Origin. That's typical Origin. So you got to tough it out. And you got to play out the 80 minutes. As Darren said, with 10 to go, there's still a lot of football to be played, and and we've got the talent of this footy side. That can actually be fairly decisive.